cool. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back with Draft Grades, the much anticipated series. Unfortunately, my co host has retired or has been fired, whatever you want to call it. But we have a new co host here. Chris, say hi to the people.
Hi, people.
The people say hi back to Chris. The people I said hi. Now, we are going on with defensive players, the one dynasty we haven't done. Of course, we want to do it early because next week we got a busy week. We got our money league spots and all that. But we're not here to talk about the money league, regular league, keeper league. We're here to talk about defensive players. And now, without further ado, let's talk about defensive players. And start off with Mike having the 101. And he took an S tier pick, in my opinion, a game breaking player here, Travis Hunter, a wide receiver cornerback hybrid that can play at the cornerback position in your lineup. So you're able to get wide receiver points in the DB spot. But not only that, since he's playing both sides, you're able to get wide receiver plus cornerback points at the DB spot. Generational prospect, reigning Heisman winner, Fred Biletnikoff winner last year. So best wideout, best player in college, voted by the press and media and all that. Love the player as a prospect. Think he's going to be a generational talent. Love him even more in this setting like this where you can play him with the DB spot. You got anything for this pick?
I
You
mean,
like that?
it's a slam pick. Run to the podium. Don't think. You're just happy to have the 101.
Yes. Now you said don't think. There was a decision here. I think Mike was making the decision of Hunter or Ashton Genty, who was our next pick. I
Oof.
think he made the 100% the right decision here with Hunter.
Oh
In
yes,
this
I think if
setting,
he
you got
allowed
to
it,
go. Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
agree.
think if he allowed him to slide, it'd be a blunder. As bad as that sounds, being able to get wide receiver value at a corner position is just, you won't find that ever. You just that will never happen again. This is a one of one situation.
Yeah.
Generational talent.
And we saw how dominant defensive player of the year candidates are, like Miles Garrett, TJ Watt, how many points they put up. Micah Parsons, for example. Travis
Uh-huh.
Hunter is going to put up those many points. But those other players are put at the defensive line spot, which is a little bit, still tough to do. And, gives you a good positional advantage. At the DB spot, a lot of these DBs come nowhere near what those defensive player of the year candidates can do. So Travis Hunter's positional advantage, I think, is just too much to pass up. I have it as an S. What do you have it as?
An S. It's the
Yeah,
smartest pick you could have made here.
I agree. Now we have our next person, and that is Dan taking Ashton Genty.
Is there consensus? I wanna just it's not there's not too much thought behind it. Again, if Hunter's there, you would have taken Hunter. If Hunter's not there, you go take Genty.
Actually, I was
You-
talking to Dan about it. And I almost wanted to trade this pick with Dan because it's a gamble to see who Mike was going to get. And Mike would have blundered and took Genty. I like, Dan, you got to come talk to me. I ain't going to lie. And Mike, you might have to come talk to me. I don't know. Because, I telling Dan, I would give up Bijan for a Hunter. Right? But the problem with that is I want to, restructure my team so I have the running back depth and all that. I don't want to be, playing Trey Benson, you know,
yeah.
willingly without, injury or anything like that. So, bye weeks. But I had to restructure my team, but I'm like, I would do that, but I'm like, I wasn't sure who Mike was gonna take, and I just missed a wide open throw. This game is awful, so it's a little tricky here. But Genty, a guy that also could have won the Heisman, definitely was a candidate. One of the best running back seasons we ever seen before. So Genty
Yeah, no question.
at the pick two. It's like a steal of a draft, really, because this isn't really supposed to happen. But since we're in defensive players, you get Genty at pick number two. I almost got to give it an S as well. I think I will.
It, it is. It's just an
Yeah.
S. There is no like other player you could take here unless what's his name slid, unless Travis Hunter slid and he didn't slide. So you're just happy to get Genty at the 102 somehow.
Yeah.
It's the positional advantage that Travis Hunter has playing DB at the wide receiver position. It's just that much better than Genty.
Now we're going on to our next pick, and that was Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana here, our boy Montana, the top one tank on Marvel Rivals, self-proclaimed at least. Uh, He goes Amari Hampton
Oh
at the
boy.
103. He goes Hampton. Like this pick a lot. Hampton has been the second player taking off most boards. He goes number 3 here because, like you said, Hunter had to slide up boards because due to the league settings. I like Hampton a lot. Goes to a perfect situation, first round draft capital. He's a full workload type of running back where he can catch out the backfield. He can handle 20 plus 25 touches a game. Can pass, block. He can do it all. Really good running back. Think he's gonna have a long career, especially in that Greg Roman offense. They're gonna run the ball there. I like this pick a lot. Can't give it an S tier though, but I will give it an A plus.
I would like to agree on that. Can't give it an S. You could make the argument for, Hampton going in the same situation as Genty is like they both slid back in the draft because of Hunter, so you get him at a pick later. So you could make the argument for him to be an S tier player, and I could see it. But the more and more we hear about the season, I do want to say it's an S pick. Like Najee not being having the ability to even look out of his left eye currently,
That is huge.
like it's really hard to look away from that stuff. I would personally give it an S.
Okay, so S for you. I will put that in my notes. I'm gonna go A plus on it because I think there is a world. Me and Benham did make a trade Hampton for Hunter, where in non-defensive players, I do think there is a world where Hampton is the 103, just straight up.
Mm.
Where I have seen people love Hunter so much and believe in him so much, they take him above Hampton. I'm not sure if I would do it. Like I would have done defensive in legacy. My bad.
Yeah.
That'd been a tough get, but I do understand the love for the wide receiver uh, is extremely high. I think running backs are kind of undervalued in Dynasty compared to how good they really are. But I'm gonna put this in my notes. Chris, grade is first and mine is second.
Oh
All
my.
right. So now we got the pick we all been waiting for. I've been waiting to talk about this pick for months.
I
We
have
have
to.
Sway at the 104. Keep in mind, we had weeks to prepare for this draft and all that. We knew all the spots we were in because we did the lottery months in advance before we actually did the real draft. He goes to the podium, and this man, after thinking it over, goes gadgets and gets R.J. Harvey when he doesn't have a third quarterback. Cam Ward, the 101, is right there. The first pick in the real life NFL draft is right there. Tremendous prospect coming out of college. Right there. And he likes Cam Ward, by the way, as we get to that a little bit later. But he go
Maybe.
gadgets and gets R.J. Harvey. And I was flabbergasted here. I was flabbergasted. Now, I like R.J. Harvey's situation. As a prospect, I thought it was kind of crazy when around 2. I didn't see that one happening. But Sean Payton running backs normally do deliver really well in fantasy as long as they're good. They didn't do well last year in Denver, but that's because none of them were really good. So even with opportunities, they weren't producing. So why keep giving them opportunities? I think R.J. Harvey has the explosiveness you want and look for in a running back. But man, I at the 104, I cannot get with this pick
No,
whatsoever.
absolutely not. I think it's a blunder. I mean, you said you were surprised. I was ecstatic seeing it because I had the next three. So, when I say ear to ear grin, I was just I couldn't be more happy for it. However, seeing Sway's situation of his quarterback room before the draft being Deshaun Watson, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, and it was Derek Carr before he had retired, as we all know. But, you know, and seeing Cam Ward there, just not taking Cam Ward, blundering the pick, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Absolute blunder. And then on top of it, there is people after him that are I would take. I would take the next shoot. Honestly, I would take the next from the 104 to the 204. I would take all of those guys over him.
I agree. So
I
this
think that
is a
is
full round worth of reaching, and still got Harvey. Like you said, I took other people over him. Still got Harvey. You like Harvey that much? Why not trade back? And then you get added draft capital, and you still get Harvey in like the start of the second round, right? The 201, like Harvey's there at the 201. You got to trade this pick back. Got another piece, got more draft picks or whatever, and still got Harvey on your team. I don't know what he was doing. This is an F. I ain't gonna lie. This just isn't how you
Yeah,
play
this is an
Dynasty.
F, a flat out
This
F.
isn't how you
There's no
play Dynasty.
questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I know we have a rubric of how we do draft grades, but reaching this far in a rookie like draft setting where you're drafting rookies and you reached a whole round. It's not like you reached like I reached a round in like redrafts because like redrafts,
Yeah.
that could happen. This is rookies where the round by round breakoffs are just so significantly more impactful
This would
on
be
a
like
player's
this is probably
stuff.
3 rounds of reaching, maybe even
Yes.
4 rounds of reaching the startup draft of
Yes,
freedom.
absolutely.
It's up there. Like this is go gadgeting 3 to 4 full rounds in the startup rookie draft. Like this is awful. This is awful.
Atrocious pick F. I don't even want to sit on it any longer, but I'd love to sit here and just clown it. I will be honest. I would love to just sit here and clown it. And he's far aware. That's the best part. Is he's far aware that we let him know every day that he picked RJ Harvey at the 104, or at least I do. I try and make that a very routine thing for him,
Yeah. It's crazy work here. Now we go to pick 105, and Chris, these are all your picks. So you want to talk about them in order or 3 at once is your call.
I'll just talk about all three of them, honestly. Like I said, ecstatic seeing RJ Harvey coming off the board because in my head, I had messaged you early before we even drafted, and I said I would like all three of these players. My only concern is Sway taking Cam Ward, or he takes Tet, or one of the running backs, and I ended up getting Tet, Henderson, Judkins. Mind you, Judkins before his whole situation happened. This draft had happened before that. I wouldn't have taken him if it was the case, for obvious reasons. But Tet, no-brainer. He shouldn't have been there. Thankfully, someone needed a QB in front of me, and they've somehow blundered that pick. So I personally think Tet's an A, Henderson's an A, and Judkins at the time was a B+. Those are my grades for all three of them. I mean, they are just no-brainers. They all were great at their value. I was happy to take them.
I do agree with the A's for both those players. Now, you tried to slide past that Judkins one. I saw that. He said, at the time it was he tried to put that little caveat in there, a little fine print writing.
Right now it's a C. Right now it's a C. I'm not happy that I took him there.
Yeah, so it's very unfortunate what happened. The whole entire situation, not only for Judkins owners, if the situation is true, of course. The
Yes.
domestic violence is very unfortunate. But I still think he's a solid running back that is in a decent situation. I'm talking to other people about this. I think the Browns' offense isn't going to be great, high scoring, anything like that. But we look at Kevin Stefanski. I'm not sure. He might be on the hot seat. I'm not sure exactly what's going on over there. But we look at his offense in years past. They had dominant running backs, right? Nick Chubb, most of his career, was really good on the Browns. He had some bad injuries that kind of derailed his career since. But before that knee injury and all those injuries, Brown
Very
worked
good.
spectacular. I think Judkins can be that guy, and Chubb's is doing that like 50 to 60% of the workload, primarily just running the ball too. Judkins is a better pass catcher, I think, than Chubb is. So there's, you know, he might
Better
get some
upside for
more
that.
catches. Yeah, I don't think he's
Yeah.
as good as a runner, but everything balances out there. I think 60% workload wearing behind that offensive line and that run scheme and all that, I think he'd definitely have a solid season. Uh, but he might get suspended. We don't know how long that suspension will be, but this is Dynasty, not redraft. So this year, not looking like the best pick, but next year, very well could be a solid pick, nevertheless. But let's talk about Tet and Travion Henderson. Tet and Bryce Young. Do you have that stack?
I do. I do have the
I
Tet
do
and
have the
Bryce Young
stack.
stack.
Okay, so the stack is nice. Gotta like the stack. But Tet, top 10 wide receiver. He went number 8 overall in the draft, if I'm not mistaken. So second wide receiver taken off the board. And then Travion Henderson was the 4th running back taken off the board. But I like Travion Henderson more than Judkins as a prospect coming out because Travion Henderson's speed is game breaking. Goes into a perfect
Oh, yeah.
situation, I think, where we've seen the Patriots in years past with McDaniels as their OC utilized running backs to the fullest degree, especially out the backfield. We look at James White, Burkhead, Danny Woodhead, and like all
He's
these guys.
very,
Yeah,
very good with pass catching as well.
yeah,
Like that just complements his
exactly.
game even more.
So it's a perfect fit here. Other teams wanted Trayvon Henderson. They're kind of mad he got sniped in the draft, in the real one and in the fantasy one. Everybody loves
Yep.
Trayvon Henderson, so it's like, oh man. And then you see what he did on that kickoff return. You gotta love it. He's already splitting first team reps in the first preseason game with Ramondre Stevenson. So with that being said, you expect maybe Ramondre might start early in the year, and then there's going to come a time where it's a Trayvon Henderson show. If they're already splitting this early, there's a chance that Trayvon Henderson starts the season as the starter, and then it wills up from there. So I love this pick, Trayvon Henderson, a lot. I'm gonna go A for both of them though, and then I'm gonna go. I didn't like Judkins as much when it happened. I'm gonna say B for Judkins, but after
Yeah.
the situation,
Ah, please spare me.
uh, after the situation, we're looking at like,
A D.
oh man, yeah, it's a D. It's a D
Yeah,
after the
it's
situation.
probably a D. The more you think about it,
Yeah,
it's a D. It sucks. It happens. There's nothing more you could do about it, honestly. Like it just happens, you know?
yeah. And now we're looking at me here. I go
Oh,
Colston Loveland.
as
Uh,
a, as a Bears fan, wait a second. As a Bears fan, let me just say I love the pick world.
uh-huh.
I want to know why it was Colston over Tyler.
So I liked Warren, uh, more coming out as a prospect. But I ain't gonna
Okay.
lie, you got to get me away from that Colts offense. I think that Colts offense, I want nothing to do with it.
You're
I
not a
want
fan of Daniel?
nothing to do with
Daniel Jones?
it. Nothing to do with it. So it come down to the scheme and the
Hmm.
team, right? So I like Caleb
Yeah.
a lot. So I'm expecting Caleb to have a great bounce back year. With that being said, I know that is a crowded room over there, but I think Loveland will be the starting tight end, and we've seen Sam Laporta be the starting tight end for Ben Johnson. That's have done really well. So I think with Loveland being the starting tight end, uh, I think Warren has higher upside. I just think Loveland's a safer pick. Cole Kmet will be over there for this year, but I think he walks in the offseason. They let him go, and then it's a Colston Loveland show. But I think Colston probably does start this year. This, for example, redraft, I do have Warren over Loveland. Dynasty, it's a toss up between the two. It's whatever.
Okay, okay. Like I said, I'm a fan. I love the Chicago Bears. We all know this. Some might like them and some might say they like them more than me, but I've been rocking with them longer. Um, Realistically, I think he will eventually start. When is the question, really? It's only a matter of time. I mean, he wasn't projected to go inside the top 10. I mean, he just didn't have Chicago taking him in the real draft at that position, but it's Ben Johnson, and like you said, he loves his tight end, Sam Laporta. You've seen what he did with his rookie season, and if he went up and go to get his guy, he must have some faith or like see something that he likes and can fit into a scheme over there in Chicago. So I love this pick. I think it's an A minus. I'd love to call it an A, but I would call this an A minus.
That's fair. I do agree. I got A minus as well.
Yeah, it's just a good pick. Especially with you just need tight ends on your roster as well.
I did need them desperately.
So it was a no-brainer really. It was just between the two of who you really were gonna take. It was either Tyler or Colston.
And that's why we go to our next person, which is Dan at
Yes, sir.
109. He ends up going Tyler Warren here. And Tyler Warren looked really good in that first preseason game. Uh, so he goes Tyler Warren here. And I had a slight edge to Tyler Warren because he's the second tight end taken. That makes sense. So whoever went number two,
Hmm.
I feel like it's a little bit better
Was
value.
was better. Yeah,
Because I had them in the same tier and stuff. I think they're both going to have terrific careers. So with that being said,
I
uh,
agree.
I
But
think there's a chance he's the number one pass catcher on this team. And
oh, for
he
sure.
could be Bowers, right? Where it's like
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
draw plays up for him over and over. They're gonna line him up in the backfield, out wide, at slot, of course, in line at tight end. They're gonna move him all over the formation and stuff. And I think he has a bright future here. I'm gonna go A for Tyler Warren.
I was gonna say I would. I'm not opposed to giving an A, but so this is my thought process
Hmm.
behind the statement you just made, whoever went second was like got more value, but they just went right next to each other. So the
Instead of
value
being,
isn't
yeah.
isn't
Hmm.
isn't too crazy of a spread. Whereas if like he went 3 picks later or like 2 picks later, like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, he got value out of it. But it was just like, oh, I need a tight end. I'll take whichever one is available, but I know one's going.
Mm.
So I wouldn't oppose to saying an A minus, but I could see why you'd give it an A. I'd agree.
Um, so I want to talk about the trade here, by the way. This
Wait,
trade
yes,
was pretty much
please.
McCaffrey for Warren and Trey Hendrickson, right? So 2-for-1, McCaffrey for both those players, and then you flip that to give it to Dan. And what was that again exactly?
The trade between me and Dan, let me go pull that up actually. I should have that in my inbox somewhere with Dan. I mean, me and Dan have traded so many things it feels like, so. But, we had this draft how long ago? Lord.
Ooh.
Oh, wait. I think I see it. Um, that's not it. Wait. I gave him the 201, correct?
Yes.
I believe this was the trade that got accepted. I could be wrong, but it was the 201 and the 405 for the 207, the 301, and the 401. Which, if you really, really look at those picks, it's like what? Eight, the 15th, 16th, and 33rd, I think.
For
Could
the
be wrong.
ninth and
405. So whatever the 405 would be.
like 29th or something.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. Traded back, if you want to be honest.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm just gonna go A here for Tyler Warren. Uh,
Yeah,
if I
A's
didn't do
solid.
the trade for McCaffrey, I would have took both tight ends. I just want that to be known on
You're
paper.
a
I just
bad
took them both.
man. You're a
I would just took
bad
them both
man
and
for
said,
the
all right, I'm done.
high.
Because I got tired of playing Dalton Schultz game on the line last year. Like I'm in the fantasy playoffs playing Dalton Schultz. There's no Tank Dell, there's no Stephon Diggs, and Dalton Schultz still sucks. Like I just don't get it. But
You're fighting for your life out there, world.
yeah. All right, now we're going to the 202. I believe this was Mike, correct?
This was Mike, and it got interesting. I mean, you want to break down what we had seen?
So,
Mind you, we were in a
uh
party talking amongst each other as this was happening,
yes. So,
and oh, I did tell Mike. I said, "Hey, let me know if the 202 is available." And I told World ahead of time, if Sway blunders and doesn't take Cam Ward,
yes.
I figured he'd have taken one of the three I had,
Hmm.
meaning I'd have taken Cam Ward at the 107, and I would have absolutely held him in a chokehold. He doesn't have a QB to play in that position. I'd have just
Exactly.
kicked him out, and we'd have been playing a 7-man league and an 8-man league. So, but mind you, he had not taken any of the three players that I wanted, so I was forced to take all three of them, and then I wanted to go put him in an absolute chokehold. And go try and take the 202 and go take Cam Ward. That's what my goal was, and I'd made it very clear to everyone else.
Hmm. So then it ends up being a bit off right here for this pick because really Cam Ward shouldn't be here in a 6 point per
No.
passing TD league. You got to start up to start two quarterbacks, but up to three. So no, really good. Uh, there should
Value?
be 24 starting quarterbacks every week. And with that being said, I think Cam Ward will be a top 24 quarterback this year, and definitely better than top 24 in the foreseeable future. So
Yes.
I mean, it's like a must-start player at a very important position. You need the player. Sway really should have took Cam Ward here, and R.J. Harvey makes it back to him at the 203,
Yeah.
right? But Sway, since he did backwards, you're able to hold him hostage. You can't really hold him hostage with R.J. Harvey, because let's say he doesn't get Harvey, I guess he likes him a lot since he took him. Well, I mean, you
Yeah.
could get Caleb Johnson, you want to run it back. Caleb Johnson, Harvey, that difference isn't as large as the difference between Cam Ward and the next quarterback in this draft class, or like anything like
Not
that.
being
So,
able to start a super
yeah,
flex. Exactly.
exactly. So Oh, bad move here by Sway. Everybody took advantage. This became a bid off. Sway gave up his first round pick next year to get the second
So,
round pick this year. And I'm not
mind
gonna
you,
lie to you. Go ahead.
Mike had this pick,
Yes. And
and
what did Mike give up?
he had outbidded me and Dan. I believe Mike had given up
A
this
second,
pick,
maybe.
and
It wasn't
he had
too crazy.
received Daniel's second.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, his trade between Dan wasn't crazy.
It was
That's
like
not the
a fair
crazy
enough
trade.
trade. Yeah. It was like, oh, that's fair
Yes.
value. That Sway, the pay up Sway. You didn't make the playoffs last year. Your team isn't getting better really like that compared to these other teams that are like, oh my goodness. You're not making playoffs again. You gave up.
Oh, I found
Yeah,
the
I just
trade.
didn't get it. Go ahead.
So, Dan gave up a 2025 second round pick, which was
The
or well,
208
Dan
maybe?
got no, Dan got the 2025 second round pick.
Yeah.
He had lost his 2025 second round pick, and he had lost the 2026 second round pick as well.
Yeah.
Mind you, Mike had told me that he thinks Dan will have a worse record. I had offered him very, 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 very close to this exact offer. He said Dan will probably have a worse record, so he had taken Dan's offer.
And
I
then
went to Dan. I went to Dan, being in a party with Sway and Dan and World, saying, I want that pick.
yeah. And Dan
It
also
turned
went to
into
me.
a bit off.
Yeah. Dan was like, yo, Dan knew who I want to hear. So we're talking about that, but Dan knew who I want to hear. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna take him unless you want to get it. I'm like, bro, whatever Sway and Chris are paying, I'm not paying that price. I love me some
Yeah.
Ibuka, but I'm not paying that. A first round pick is outlandish to pay here. So, nevertheless, Mike he also hit me up. He said he felt some type of way. He's like, yo, I could have got a first, bro. Yo, what the heck? Yo, Mike was like, yo, Mike felt like he undersold it. But
You know-
nevertheless, we got Sway here taking Cam Ward. I do like the Cam Ward pick, but the fact he did the trade to get it, and he's
Hey,
already had
you
Cam
know,
Ward. I can't even give it
Not
an
to
A
kick a
plus.
man.
I can't
Not
even
to
give it
kick
an
a
A plus.
man.
I'm sorry.
Not to kick a man while he's down, but like
Yeah.
you traded your first for next
Yeah.
year for a early second, where the situation could have been the exact same if you had taken Cam Ward in the first. You won lost, you got value, but you lost a first
Yeah.
round next year, and you are the consensus worst team in this league. So that's probably going to be a lottery pick, probably easily top 4 pick. I'd argue easily top 2. So, I mean, like Mike said, he felt some type of way, but like Dan offered it.
Can we also
Sway
talk
said
about
yes.
how? Yes, go ahead. Thank you.
Dan said, "Are you sure?" Or he said, "Really first?"
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah." He said, "Are you sure?" So not only once did he know the trade was bad, he asked him like once.
Yeah.
Before signing it, he knew it was bad. Asked him once because he knew it was bad, and then reassured him how bad it was, and he still said yes. That's the problem I have.
Yeah, Dan's a very kind person. I would have just hit accept and just did you dirty. But Dan made sure you wanted to verify, like read the terms and conditions. You sound trying to say, make sure you know what's going on
Yeah.
here before he does this to you. So like, I like Cam Ward at pick 10. I normally get this as an A plus type pick, but you traded
Yeah.
up a first to get him. So it's like,
Can't. I'd argue.
I can't do it.
I'd
So-
argue a B minus.
yeah,
I
agree.
really would.
I'm with a
I
B
really
minus.
would.
I'm with a B
A B
minus.
minus, borderlining C plus.
Yeah. It's just not how you play Dynasty, though, Sway. I hope
Absolutely
you learn from
not.
this, but I know you won't. But that makes it the worst part. Let me just go on to the next one. I don't want to keep talking about that.
Yeah, I don't know. You're right. Just keep it pushing. It gets better,
It's
actually.
Sway again. He goes Matthew Golden. Okay, yeah, so it's time to dunk on him again. All right, so Matthew Golden here.
Yo, not only was Dig not gonna take Cam Ward, he was gonna take Emeka Ibuka. That means your first would have been fine to keep, and you'd have had Cam Ward instead of Matthew Golden, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shake my head, man.
Wow. So Matthew Golden here. Not huge on him as much as I am as the cup. I think Caleb Johnson and Ibuka I would take over Matthew Golden, but I would take Golden over Berlin. So that's a slight reach there. Like a slight inaccuracy to be the more thing I would say, but I don't mind it because he was a first round pick, came from out of
Yeah.
Texas, still young. He's gone to Green Bay where he could be the number one option on that team. But truthfully speaking, I think the Packers
No.
pass the ball around so much and like spread the ball around
So
where even he's the number one option. I don't think he's getting 25-30% target share, right? So
absolutely not. I will say, him going into the draft, I thought he looked like one of the better prospects. I think he was the best prospect in my eyes as a receiver, but his situation, he there's no Batman to the Robin. There's just a bunch of Robins.
yeah,
There is no Batman to shield him from being double teamed or just he's a rookie into the league being the wide receiver one on a team that has a bunch of wide receiver threes, respectfully so. And it sucks. There's better people. This is another what, B minus?
I'm gonna go B minus as well. I said it's not an awful pick or anything per se,
It's
but
not.
it's just like
It's just you messed up again.
yeah. And he would have took a
That's 3
bouquet.
times.
I remember when he said, so no, I was in the party and he said, he told me the two people he's looking at. He said Golden and Johnson, I think he said. I said, you're trolling.
Yeah.
He said, no, I'm for real. But I didn't know, I was on my phone texting and stuff. I didn't know he drafted Cam Ward. So I didn't see that pick. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
I remember this.
Yo, I was baffled. I said, I know you did not trade your first. Did not draft Cam Ward. I was ready to kill this man. But then I looked at it, oh no, he drafted Cam Ward. We're good to go. We're good to go. I'm like, hey, you traded
All
your
I remember
first.
hearing was, "Are you serious?
Yo,
Are
bro,
you
I was
serious?"
baffled.
I was like,
I
"Wait,
was
what
baffled.
happened? What happened?
I
What-
really
what
thought he
miss?"
didn't draft Cam Ward here. Like I didn't see the Cam Ward pick get draft. I was ready to go
Oh,
crazy.
man.
'Cause I was gonna be so mad. 'Cause I wanted a Buka because I didn't think Cam Ward.
But
I'm like,
you
now
can't
we gotta
pass
make a
Cam.
decision. Yeah, like yo, I was gonna be mad at dude, bro. Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
But all right,
Yeah, no, I
nevertheless,
don't blame
he
you.
makes the pick with Matthew Golden, and we get Ibuka here. I've been raving about Ibuka, loving what he's doing at training camp. Chris Godwin was kind of down on my board. I don't think Chris Godwin's gonna be ready to go week 1. If he's not ready to go week 1, Ibuka would step into that wide receiver 2 role. If he's
Absolutely.
producing, it's tough for me seeing a world where they just take it away from him for an old Godwin coming off of injury. I'm like, yo, if you out there cooking Ibuka, keep cooking, my boy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say?
absolutely.
Keep developing and all that. Of course, Godwin will get snaps and all that. They're not a bench Godwin, but I just see Ibuka being that guy. And Mike Evans, who is healthy, has missed time in years past, but Mike Evans never been a target hog like that. I think Ibuka could be the target hog because Godwin was the target hog. It just Mike Evans got the big play after big play and the red zone threat and all that. But nevertheless, I like this pick, Ibuka a lot. I'm gonna give it an A+. I love it.
I can't give it an A+. I'd love to. I personally can't. I know how big you are on Ibuka.
Yeah.
They did just pay, if I'm not mistaken, they did just pay Chris
Yeah,
Godwin.
they paid both of them. Yeah, they both got contracts.
And Mike Evans got paid as well? Did I
He
completely
got like
blank on that?
that was like a year ago. That makes sense. So
Okay, yeah.
Evans
I get what you're
is-
saying.
Yeah.
So, I think, you know,
Mhm.
it's you got a Batman, Robin, and Nightwing type of situation. You know, you got the weapons. It's just like, who do you feed? Like you got
Yeah.
everyone. You got it's a great team. There's this amazing, you know, running game between Rashad and Bucky. Look great. Baker has reformed as a quarterback. His career has been ups and downs, but he looked like he's found home in Tampa. I mean, Mike produces year in, year out. Chris Godwin was a phenomenal receiver before the injury.
Yeah.
How he recovers is a different question. Because if he, like you said, if Ibuka slips in there and starts playing as the wide receiver too, and wait a second, Ibuka's starting to have like a BTJ here. We're scratching our head a little, being like, wow, wait a second, we
Yeah.
passed up on this guy early on the draft. What's going on? And I mean, dude, he's a great receiver. Situation doesn't allow me to give him an A+. He has no control of it. I will give it an A though.
Now we're going on to our next person though, and that is Caleb Johnson by Kev. Kev was happy to make this pick. I definitely don't blame him because I thought about Caleb Johnson. By the way, it would have been a massive blunder if I would have took Caleb Johnson. Because before I was telling you this, Chris, I was willing to take a Ibuka at the 108, 109 type area. So
Yep.
like, if I was never looking at Caleb Johnson there. So even though Caleb Johnson there at the 204, I did think about it for a moment. I said, nah, bro, I'm bugging. Let me get Ibuka because that's the guy I wanted. And at the time, I had Baker, so I had Mike Evans and Baker. Adding Ibuka there, that's the perfect stack to me. Cause when Mike Evans retires or whatever, then Ibuka just becomes the wide receiver one. So everything lined up perfect there, in my opinion. But now I don't have Baker
Yeah.
anymore. But that's a different story.
Oh, this is true.
I love Baker, but Saquon for Baker, you got to go Baker. I'm sorry. All right. Now, like I said,
Caleb
With
Johnson.
Caleb Johnson. Yep.
Good pick. I think he's. It's a really weird one because I do think we had talked about it earlier, not too long ago, maybe even yesterday or later tonight actually.
Yeah.
We had talked about Aaron Rodgers just stat padding when he gets inside the 5, and it might happen in Pittsburgh where he doesn't trust his run game inside the 5, and he's going to audible out to getting a 5-yard pass to DK Metcalf. I mean, he has a big body receiver. He has good tight ends over there. So situation, isn't ideal, but I think he will be running this backfield, and we've seen him work in preseason pretty well. I mean, it's Travis Hunter's
Hunter,
father.
the 101 in our draft just got signed.
It's Travis Hunter's father at the end of the day. Like, we gotta keep it a buck with people. I mean, the people want to hear it. But I think he will end up running this backfield. Jalen Warren's really good, but not a RB1.
Yeah.
He's just there for alleviating carries, if you want me to be honest. I don't see him really having too much of an effect on Caleb Johnson. I think it's a solid what? What are we grading this?
I was thinking B plus A minus area. I like the pick a lot.
Yes, it's a gray. It's a gray area, but
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with that. I'll take either one. Consensus pick. You're kind of happy he's even there, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll go A minus. I don't see anybody that I'm like, yo, you should have took this guy over him.
No, absolutely not. A minus is solid.
Now we go Luther Burden and Jaden Higgins by you. So back-to-back picks again. I like both these picks. I like them both.
I as a Bears fan, I couldn't let every Bear slide out the draft. I got same situation how you had it. You have Mike, you had Baker, you have Ibuka, I have Caleb, I have DJ, I have Burden. Whenever the foot gets left off the gas from DJ, Burden will step up into that position. He slid down draft boards during draft day. I had him going in the first round, or if not early in the second. I thought the Patriots should have taken him.
Oh, that'd been good, yeah.
So, I'm just a fan of him. I think he has great work ethic. And then I also, Higgins stepping up into this situation he's in. I mean, a solidified QB. He has a Batman, a true wide receiver, one that can take most of the defensive workload away from him, and he could start to sneak in and start playing a role. Tank Dell's out for the season. Joe Mixon just had an injury.
Yeah, Joe Mixon
Diggs is gone.
I think they will pass a whole lot more than a lot of teams will think because, like, if Joe Mixon's banged up, you're looking at an old Nick Chubb come off a bad injury.
Marks.
He hasn't looked the same. Or rookie Woody Marks that they took in round 4. So they're not a horrible player. They got some investment in them. They like them, but it's like they're probably going to pass a lot more than they probably would like or whatever the case may be. But that's it. I like Higgins a lot. I took him over Burden in the Legacy League. I do have him over Burden because, like you said, the opportunity there, I think it's tough in Chicago. There's 5 mouths to feed, in my opinion. Right? Because you're looking at DJ, Rome, Burden, of course, at wide out. But,
I do want to say ADP-wise, I'd have him over Burden. That's not the question. It was just more or less of like I have the snake, I have the back-to-back picks. It doesn't matter which one I take first.
All right, that's fair.
But I do have Higgins over Burden.
So I'm gonna go B plus for Burden and maybe A minus for Higgins.
Ooh, really?
I was thinking B plus for both, but I'm trying to think.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I almost want to say
I would
A
say B plus for Higgins.
Oh, wow.
And B for Burden. You gotta be a little more. I feel like these grades, obviously, they're the right pick, but like.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You're not getting up like.
A minus is no value there. There's no.
Yeah.
So I got B plus for both.
I'd say B plus for both is fine, or a B, just a flat B for Burden would be okay as well. Like, all right. It's just what it is.
Let me go look at what's the next one here. Cam Scatterboo by Mike. So Cam is already banged up, if I'm not mistaken. Got a Q by his name correct? I'm not sure.
Yes,
Uh,
I believe
and it
so.
looks like it's a Tyrone Tracy show over there. So I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I don't think this is gonna be a very good offense. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
No.
So if they passed a lot last year because they were down a lot. I think their defense is gonna be decent enough where maybe they could win some more games than a lot of people expect, and then they're able
N-
to run out the clock. But um, Cam was a dog in college. I won't even lie to you. He was a dog.
He
But I
was. He
think the NFL
was.
is a little bit different.
Yeah, I've
So
talked
not
about it.
huge on Cam.
Not big on Cam at all.
Uh,
I don't think his game translates well. I don't think they're going to be ever in the lead, if you want me to be honest. They have the toughest
yeah,
schedule this year.
this
So,
is a brutal one.
there is a realistic possibility where the Giants don't win a game this year. And I wouldn't be surprised if you want me to be honest.
Dang.
They have that hard of a schedule. Maybe they beat the Cowgirls? It's
Perhaps.
possible. But I'm not a fan of Cam, if you want to be honest.
Mm.
I don't think his game will translate well from college to the NFL. I think him bouncing off of people as much as he did, isn't going to happen, realistically.
All right.
It's hard to
So
grade this, though.
I'm gonna go C plus.
Plus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cam's got to be Mike C plus. We'll see though. Uh,
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Now we're on to our next one. Trey Harris here. I like this a whole lot more before they added Keenan
Yep.
Allen. So
Yeah.
Chris is just getting screwed.
Yeah,
The-
this draft happened, mind you, like, what, a month ago and some
yeah,
change? So it just sucks. But, like, I'll live with it. You get to
yeah,
learn behind a absolute vet, which is
yep.
Keenan Allen. I mean, I'm not going to ever complain. You got a wide receiver one whenever he does leave, and Lad.
Mhm,
Lad can play everywhere and anywhere on the field, so
yep.
you're happy that you have someone that can open up space for you. This year he's not going to be great. Next year I think he's going to be amazing.
That's fair.
So
Well, amazing. I don't know about amazing. I don't know. Next year will be
I think he'll
interesting
be
because I think they
serviceable.
run. Oh yeah, right. He's better than Quentin Johnston, and Quentin Johnston had a
Oh
sneaky
yeah,
good
no.
year last year. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's better than Quentin Johnson. He'll get more touches
yeah,
than you would actually think he will get.
yeah. So Um, again, this is Dynasty, so like having a down first year is okayish, whatever. But second year, there's definitely a future there. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go B minus. I
B
like it more.
minus?
Yep,
Yeah.
I like it more than the
On the
Cam
same
one.
page.
Yeah. All right, now next is
Oh.
Jackson Dart, right?
Yes, Jackson Dart.
Uh, who
And
took
this
him?
was Mike, I believe, taking
All
him.
right, Mike took Jackson Dart. Uh, so Dart is someone I have in Legacy. He had a preseason game. That's solid enough in the preseason game. Uh, but he has a great future, in my opinion, because he's tied to
Mhm.
Malik Neighbors. So we don't know who his
Yeah.
quarterback's going to be. That's the not quarterback, head coach next year. Because there's a good chance Dayball gets fired. And it really wouldn't be Dayball's fault because, I don't know, I just
You
feel
can't
like
control who pays
management,
people.
exactly, management has been
Yeah.
blundering. That's the GM's fault. But we'll see what he looks like with a new head coach if it comes to that. Uh, but Dart, first round quarterback here. We'll talk about quarterback drafts and we can get to another player a little bit later. But draft capital. But first round quarterback here by Dart. Mm, I like it. I'm gonna go B.
Plus, I think it's a B
Yeah,
plus. There's no
yeah,
one ahead of him
yeah.
or there's no one behind him that I'd take. And I remember
He could
having
have
a
went. Go ahead.
pre-draft with you, and I had him over Harris, if you want to be honest. But like,
Yeah,
it got to it, and I was like, I can't really hold no one hostage anymore. They've gotten it figured out.
yeah,
So I just ended up going Harris, and I think Dart's
yeah.
he's still there. Take him.
And it's good. Actually, I think Mike should have took Dart over Cam. I'd rather have the quarterback than the running
Adaboo,
back.
yeah.
Yeah. So this right here, Dart there, I like it a lot. Now we're going on to
Dude.
Mason Taylor,
Oh,
tight
dude.
end by Sway, right?
Yeah, no. Mason Taylor, tight end, tied to Sway now.
So go
Not a
ahead.
fan.
Yeah,
Not a
I was
fan.
talking about this by the way. Like, if you look at all the lines for Justin Fields, He's
Yeah.
not projected to throw for more than 200 yards per game. Garrett Wilson's going to get most of those yards.
Yeah.
Brees Hall
We'll
is going
catch
to
them out the
get.
backfield.
Yeah, he's a pass catching running. Like, how much is this rookie tight end finna get? You sound trying to say there is a number two
Maybe
option
20 a
available.
game.
Yeah, there is a number two option. Like, who else do they have a wide out to throw to? But I ain't gonna lie. I think they're gonna run the ball so much over there in New York. He's gonna be like, yo, it's gonna be one of the worst offenses in the league, in my opinion.
It's gonna be boring, but
Yeah, it will be.
it's gonna
Without a
work.
doubt. Yeah,
It's gonna work for them over there.
yeah. So that's why I'm like, I'm not really feeling the Mason Taylor stuff.
I'm
What
not
feels
either.
on
I
the
don't think
2 year
it's a
deal.
great pick.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Fields loved his tight end over at Chicago, and
Without a doubt.
I mean he loved Pat over there over in Pittsburgh the year he played. It sucks that he
Yeah.
got benched after having a good record, but he likes his tight ends, so I could see something working out. It's just he's a rookie coming into the league. He hasn't built that chemistry. It's New York we're talking about. It's the city where quarterbacks kind of go to die, and
Hey,
I don't think they're gonna throw much.
I'm gonna
So
C plus.
yeah, I
You
give
go.
it either a C or
Uh-huh.
C plus. It's fine.
You're going Kyle Williams next. Kyle Williams, I think, is a solid one. Kyle
Oh yeah, I was
Williams is
happy.
somebody I thought Sway should have drafted because he drafted him in Legacy. I even sent Sway a message. Oh, that's a good pick. He drafted Kyle Williams in Legacy ahead of Mason Taylor. And this one he goes Mason Taylor. It is a little bit different Legacy because Legacy is start one tight end, so there's 10 at least starting every week. Where this one it starts 16 every week, and like I don't know what Sway team was looking like. He got Bowers in Legacy, so maybe he didn't feel like he needed the need at tight end. Where in this one maybe he needs a tight end need or something. But I like Kyle Williams more than Mason Taylor, without a doubt. So this pick by
Yeah,
you, I think Kyle Williams has a great chance at being the wide receiver one in the future, but even this year, because maybe Diggs isn't the same coming off that torn ACL, whatever the case may be. Maybe he's a
yeah.
shell of himself, and then Kyle Williams, there's opportunity over there. Tied to Drake May, who looks like a really solid quarterback. They got
Indeed, I had him
McDaniels
at the
over there,
time.
OC. So yeah, I like this pick a lot.
I had Drake
Kyle
May
Williams.
correlated it. I was very happy seeing Kyle Williams being there at the 3-4. Or what pick would that translate to in a 12 man?
And a 12 man, 3-4 is pick 20. So that'd
Pick
be
20. I was happy to see him there.
yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'll take him. And like I said, I had Drake May at the time, so it was like, oh, this is an easy correlation. I like Drake May. I like Kyle Williams. I like the little pairing I could get going with them.
Yep.
B plus.
I got B plus as well. Now we're going on
Yep,
to our next
okay.
one. That is Montana with Abdul Carter,
Ooh.
the first defender off the board. Interesting. So a lot of people want Abdul Carter here. Jake said he had him on the board. I'm telling Jake I took him at the 307. I like Milroy Carter for me is the guy that I'm hoping for here. I like the upside play. Carter, I think,
Mhm.
terrific pass rusher. Could be, a defensive year, defensive player of the year candidate in the future. I don't think it happened this year, but that's a great
Could be
D-line they
rookie
got
of
over
the year.
there in New York. Yeah, it could be defensive rookie of the year. Carter
Yep.
is really like that. So, I like this pick a lot by Montana. He has Micah Parsons, and he doesn't care. He
Oof.
goes with the Abdul Carter. He's saying, I want the best defenders in the
I
league
love
behind Chris.
I love behind, hey, respectfully so behind me, because my defenders. If you read them off, you might get intimidated. I might put up 100 with my defenders, and there's only 5. So
Yeah. So, with that being said,
B
Abdul
plus,
Carter, like this a lot. Yeah, I got B plus here.
B plus as well. I'd love to give it an A minus if you want
I
me to be
almost
honest.
want to. I almost want to. I might
Yeah,
do.
I'd give it an honest. I'd give it an A
Yeah,
minus. I'm a
that's
fan
it.
of. I'm a fan. I'm a fan,
Yeah.
Montana. And I will say, Montana. I hope you watch this. You've won me over on how well you've been drafting recently.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of how well you've been drafting. I'll acknowledge you.
Division rivals acknowledging each other. Interesting. But now we're going to our next one, and that is
Jaden Blue.
Jaden Blue by you.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Mind you, I did have a lot of picks. We talked about this. I love this rookie class so much. I think there's talent out the wazoo, every position. And it's an underlooked draft class. It will live up to more than what it is. I think Blue, open opportunity to run that Dallas backfield. They don't have a great one. They don't even really have a one, if you ask me. I don't think these boys are good at all.
Yeah.
Javonte Williams isn't going to be there. Javonte Williams isn't long term. Miles Sanders isn't long term.
Uh-huh.
They're going to draft a running back. You're going to think he's going to stay for a while, or at least work him into staying for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was happy with my pick. I think
like
he
him.
looked good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I identified
not
the
much more
same
to
thing
it.
last year, where it's like the Cowboys' offense is expected to be good, led by Dak Prescott. So when healthy, you expect for that to be a solid offense. Give me the starting running back for that offense. If that can get them for dirt cheap, and that's what you're getting here. You're getting a potential
Mhm.
starting running back for dirt cheap because Javonte, after the knee injury, hasn't really looked the same. Miles Sanders is old and slow. He might have gotten saved and paid because he played for the Eagles and had Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith to take pressure off him when it comes to running and running behind one of the best O lines. So I mean that
Yeah,
really will
absolutely.
like with Miles Sanders. So with that being said, it blue is good. He's explosive, right? So he's able to break big
Absolutely.
plays. If he's good, he's gonna get a good amount of workload here. I like this pick. I'm gonna go B. I like
Ooh,
it.
really? I had myself as a B plus. I'll be honest. There isn't
Mm-hmm.
anyone behind him that I would take over him.
Ooh, that's what I'm gonna
So
get to. So
that's where you differentiate, and I
yes,
understand
yeah.
why.
Okay, okay.
I
So
understand why.
I give
So
you a B plus. There's definitely no running
yeah,
back. I like him as the best running
yeah,
back.
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he's the best player
Yeah, yeah.
apart from Milrow.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there we go. That's the
Which
reason why,
I
I'm
get
like,
it.
oh, that Milrow
I'm just
pick.
not. I'm not
Uh,
in the situation to take Milrow. If you
yeah,
want to
because
be
you didn't
honest, at the
have a
time I
horde
wasn't.
load of quarterbacks. Yeah, so it's
Yep.
like, ah. All right, now, I go Milrow here with our next pick. And I will not lie to you. I love this pick because the sky's the limit for guy. So I already have 4 to 5 quarterbacks at the time of this draft. I think 5. I want to say I had Hurts. No, I didn't have me. I had Hurts, Baker, Lawrence, Penix. So I have 4 quarterbacks, and I'm confident with all 4 of those guys to be top 24. So I'm like, all right, I can start them. Don't have to worry about anything. I can have Milrow sit, and then if he does pan out when he does come in, I think he could be a first round startup draft if he's actually good. Now, I don't think he's that great of a passer. I think he has to develop. He got to be more consistent at throwing the ball, especially in the intermediate routes. He's closer to AR, but the difference between AR and Jalen Milrow, he's closer to AR than he is Lamar. But the difference between AR and Milrow, AR went in the first round of rookie startups and all that stuff. He's going super early. Where Jalen Milrow, you get him around 3 of a dynasty draft. Like, oh, sign me up. You see what I'm trying to say? So every time
Yeah.
Milrow's there around 3, sign me up because they got the same risk, same reward, but the price is different. So I love this pick a lot. I'm a go A plus. I won't lie to you.
Whoa!
I'm glazing myself. I'm
Whoa!
glazing.
Whoa!
Somebody got to
Whoa!
do
A
it.
plus!
Somebody got to do it.
Whoa!
Yo.
Alright. I will tell you this.
What up?
He has accuracy concerns, and
Oh, without a
it's
doubt.
not. It's not even like you can look past it a little. It's concerning how bad it is. He was the fastest Bama player last year.
Yeah.
All the players said it. He has Lamar Jackson speed. Don't know if he has the elusiveness,
Yeah.
but he definitely has Lamar Jackson breakaway speed. His accuracy is the concern, the big concern tying to him.
That's the most
He's
important trait
also,
for a quarterback.
yeah, as a QB, you want to be able to throw the ball where it needs to go. So, that being said, I don't know if I can give it an A plus. I don't think I can give this Joker an A plus off of the fact that he can't really throw the greatest. So, I think I'll give it a B plus, if not a B. I think he is the best person available at the time. Not knowing everyone's situations.
No, I will gas it down a
Actually,
little
I
bit
will
because
give
he
it
won't
B.
start.
I'll give it B. I'll give it a
Since he
B.
won't start.
And there is someone
Okay.
else that I was bigger on
Okay.
at the time.
Oh, interesting. Okay. There is, since he won't start week 1, maybe
Well,
first season. We don't know when he'll start because I'm planning on Sam Darnold being bad. I ain't gonna lie to you, right?
I don't blame you.
So that's what I'm banking on. If Sam Darnold's bad, then I think Milrow could start later on in this season, maybe when the Seahawks are eliminated from playoff contention. But I think that's the year, without a doubt, the Milrow show will commence. But since he's in that 1 year, I just go and lower it down to an A. But who's the next person to
An A
close
is
out this video?
crazy.
Devin Neal by Mike.
Oh,
Mike goes Devin Neal. So, Dan was looking into the Alvin Kamara contract. I think Kamara's like 2 more years, and it's tough to get rid of him. Whatever, maybe two or three. I don't know exactly, but
Mhm.
we'll have to see exactly about the Kamara contract. I don't know it like how Dan knows it or anything like that. But Devin Neal, Kamara missed time last year. They brought in Kendre Miller. Kendre Miller didn't look that good for whenever he filled in. Then I think Kendre got hurt as well. Kendre really can't stay healthy, and Devin Neal might be a better player than Kendre. But if Kamara's healthy, Devin Neal is not really playable. If Kamara isn't healthy, Devin Neal could become playable, but that offense is going to be so bad for so long.
Oh yeah,
I just don't even think like where's the
it's
upside?
worth
Because
it.
Devin Neal's not
Yeah.
a great pass catcher. He's more of a runner, in my opinion. He can catch a little bit, but uh, it's like, you're not going to be scoring touchdowns. You're not catching passes. You're getting a whole lot of volume, maybe, in offense that's just going to be stuck inside the 20s and kicking field goals because I don't see it too much. But I do like Devin Neal, though. So I give it like a B minus,
I was gonna say
C
C
plus.
plus for me, honestly.
Yeah, I think I might go C
It's
plus as well.
super situational for him to be good,
Yeah,
and his situation isn't good.
yeah,
Like
I
he
agree.
has to have someone fall as a handicap, and then on top of having someone to fall, you don't have the quarterback play nor
Yeah.
anything to help you. So it's really just
Mm.
not a good situation to be in.
All right, cool. And that will conclude this video. So, as always, hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Hope to see you guys on the next one. We're going to do the final 4 rounds next, and we'll do a little draft recap at the very end. So, hope to see you guys on that one.